The availability of ground provisions is growing higher during the Kweyol season, where there is high demand. With breadfruit, for example, reaching as high as $18 for one, there are concerns that this could negatively affect Kweyol celebrations. Alfred Prospere, Minister of Agriculture, painted a stark picture of the situation, noting that farmers must embrace new methods and technologies to withstand the harsh realities we face now, and will continue to face in the coming years.
The thing about St. Lucia currently, we are going through a short-term food crisis, I would call it, and that is linked to the recent Hurricane Beryl that impacted almost 35% of the agricultural sector. So our banana and plantain farmers got a major blow because obviously those trees or plants, as you call them, are very vulnerable to strong winds. We do not have major problems with the root crops per se, but the plantain and banana subsectors were directly impacted.
Hurricane Beryl did not directly hit St. Lucia, but caused widespread damage to agricultural farmers facing severe losses. As fields of crops lie devastated and livestock are affected by flooding and power outages, the agricultural sector finds itself in a critical moment of recovery, especially around the Kweyol season.
Climate change is impacting the agricultural sector in a very major way, a big way, because our farmers were not used to that kind of weather pattern in the last 10 or more years. We are within a hurricane belt, but climate change is completely different. I mean, we had a serious drought sometime this year, followed by Hurricane Beryl. This was not something that you would find normally in, decades past. So what we have to do as an agricultural-based economy is to change the way we do things, because the vagaries of climate change will continue to impact the sector, and we must change the way we do agriculture and to go into modernizing agriculture, new technology and innovation, climate-smart agriculture, and more importantly, to build resilience in the sector so we limit or minimize the impacts that climate change will have.
Hurricane Beryl has ravaged fields of staple crops and caused widespread damage to infrastructure, including irrigation system and storage facilities. Many rural communities dependent on agriculture have also been hit hard, leaving livelihoods and food security at risk.
We have to adopt practices where we use resistant varieties that are resistant to drought, varieties that are resistant to climate change. But again, the difficulty we have is trying to convince the farmer to adopt a certain approach, because the farmer usually accustomed to what he's been doing for 20, 30, 40 years. But we must remember climate change is not only having an impact in St. Lucia, but around the world. But small island states like St. Lucia is very much more vulnerable to the impacts because of the small size and the fact that we are within the hurricane belt.
St. Lucia revolutionized its agricultural sector before, during the transition from sugar to bananas. However, the effects of Hurricane Beryl are a stark reminder of the agricultural sector's vulnerability in an era of climate disruption. Minister Prospere's message is clear. Farmers must adapt now or risk facing greater losses in the future. For Choice News Now, I am Kenise Baptist.